we speak. I think we're far enough away. I had COVID, so I think you're probably safe. So, what a pleasure it is to be here. The news media is safe. Those are all they have their safety on, so you're in good shape. What a pleasure, Secretary Loxon, to be here and to see you again. And you visited me in Washington, so it's nice to be able to come and visit you here in Manila. And Secretary Lorenza, National Security Advisor Esperon, General Agape, thank you for welcoming me today at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So on behalf of President Trump and the American people, I want to start today talking about something other than the weapon systems that are coming to help in the fight against terrorism. But I want to express my deepest condolences and President Trump's deepest condolences to the people of the Philippines who've been affected by Super Typhoon Goni and Typhoon Vamco. The United States stands with the Philippine people during this very difficult time in this natural disaster. We're providing life-saving support to those most affected, and we're going to work hard to restore the livelihoods and access to critical resources together with your government. We're also battling Corona side by side. Since March, the United States has donated 1.1 billion Philippine pesos, or $23.4 million US dollars, to assist in the combating of COVID-19 in the Philippines. We've donated 100 brand new ventilators, 1,300 cots, and as well as PPE for 49 medical facilities. We've also trained 28,000 health workers and helped the Philippines boost its testing capacity from an initial 200 tests a day to over 30,000 tests a day. And I want to make just a personal point, coming from California, where we have many, many Philippine Americans, and many of whom are involved in the healthcare sector. There are Filipino Americans and Filipinos that are in America today in our hospitals and on the front lines taking care of Americans, and we're grateful for that. And the Philippines can be very proud of your countrymen and your native sons and daughters who are doing so much for us as we battle COVID in our country. The United States stands with you in this fight, and we're behind you, and you're in our prayers, and we know that we are in your prayers. So today, on behalf of President Trump, and it's an honor for me to be here because I was on the initial phone call between President Trump and President Duterte when they spoke about the fight against terrorism that the Philippines is so valiantly waging, and the need for some munitions. I'm pleased to transfer a package of precision-guided missiles, munitions, including 100 TOW 2 Alpha missiles, 12 ITAS, and 24 Mk-82s to the Armed Forces of the Philippines. And Mr. Secretary, let me just hand you a letter on behalf of making the transfer of these systems available. I saw a photo, one of my colleagues from the NSC sent me a photo yesterday of the C-130, or maybe it was the C-5 that was coming in to bring these munitions to you to help you in your fight. And it's a fight that's being bravely undertaken by the men and women of the Philippines Armed Forces. This transfer underscores our strong and enduring commitment to a critical alliance. We hope these precision-guided missiles and munitions will help the AFP protect Philippine lives in Mindanao and end the needless suffering imposed by ISIS East Asia. The United States has been at the forefront of the fight against ISIS. The United States in the Middle East has destroyed 100% of the physical caliphate. That was a caliphate the size of Great Britain, extending across Syria and Iraq. It was destroyed under President Trump's orders. Further, President Trump gave the orders for a daring nighttime raid that led to justice being brought to Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, the founder and leader of ISIS. Now President Trump is standing with President Duterte as we combat ISIS here in Southeast Asia. The United States welcomes President Duterte's recent decision to extend the U.S.-Philippines Visiting Forces Agreement. We look forward to the VFA continuing to facilitate our closer cooperation in combating terrorism. And Mr. Secretary, thank you for your strong involvement in that process. We also hope to expand our cooperation across a whole range of security challenges, from disaster relief to maritime security. Know that the United States stands shoulder to shoulder with the Philippines. Our nations share a deep interest in upholding the rule of law and the rules-based international order that is underwritten and enduring peace in Asia, peace, stability, and prosperity across the Indo-Pacific region since the end of the Second World War. And we welcome the recent statements by President Duterte and the Secretary at the U.S.-ASEAN Summit and the East Asia Summit, which I participated, calling for all nations, including a certain large nation in the neighborhood, to respect international law in the South China Sea. Earlier this year, the United States formally aligned our position on the South China Sea with the Arbitral Tribunal's 2016 ruling. We stand with the Philippines in protecting your sovereign rights, your offshore resources, and all of those rights that are consistent with international law. And I just want to say that those resources belong to the children and the grandchildren of the people here. They belong to the Philippine people. They don't belong to some other country that just because they may be big and they may be bigger than the Philippines, they can come take away and convert the resources of the Philippine people. That's just wrong. And that's why Secretary Pompeo said in February, any armed attack on Philippine forces, aircraft, or public vessels in the South China Sea will trigger our mutual defense obligations. As we approach the 70th anniversary of our Mutual Defense Treaty next year, we celebrate the strength of our important alliance, and we look forward to working hand in hand for generations to come. Together, the United States and the Philippines will continue to ensure peace and prosperity in the Indo-Pacific region. May God bless you, may God bless the Philippines, and may God bless America. Thank you very much.